Hey there, so the Beka BK9, pretty nice knife, right? Some would say that when the handle is the original black plastic configuration, it's a little bit slippery. I'd be inclined to agree. So my buddy Chris has sourced me some micarta handle scales. In fact, this is what the knife has been wearing basically since I've been playing with it. What I've done though is I've put the black scales back on, and what we're working on today is a rescale and strip of the black coating that the BK9 comes covered with. It's very prone to getting marked up and scuffed. It comes off fairly easily around the points of most impact, and I've always found that having a bit of a patina or having just the raw steel is easy enough to maintain to a satisfactory enough level anyway.
Especially when it sits unused on a shelf.
So we're going to take all this black stuff off. That's right, we're giving the knife a makeover.
Makeover, 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 makeover. Yeah. Makeover, 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 makeover. For you and me.
So my ingredients today for this makeover are some of the gnarliest paint stripper I could find. This is the real blobby stuff. A putty knife. This will just be used for smearing and spreading and lightly scraping off the coating. Some several sets of black nitrile gloves, because this stuff can be fairly nasty on your skin. Instant irritation. It's very sort of strong chemical. Got a couple of rolls of duct tape, because sometimes I found that if I tape up the foil container, which I'm going to make out of foil, that sort of helps, but may not use that. Got some steel wool to assist with final removal of the stubborn bits of coating. I've got my Gorilla Grip with all of my different hex head wrenches on it. This is the one obviously to take off the scales. And I've got my range hood here, which is some exhaust, because this stuff makes some pretty nasty fumes. So I'll be using this surface here to do all my preparation. It's on my stove cooktop, which is all kind of just enamel coated metal or steel, so it's not really going to soak into any, not that this bench top would be too bothered, but it's not going to soak into anything that I won't be able to get it out of. And of course we're going to be doing it underneath the range hood for the exhaust to suck away all these fumes, because the last thing we want is for me to get some brain damage, do we? Do we, brick that I talk to, that I draw a face on?
Is it you that imagines this, or the people who consume your garbage?
So we're going to double glove, maybe even triple glove. Then we're going to open up this range hood. Then we're going to coat this knife with the paint stripper substance, and we're going to leave it for a while. See, it's a real goopy paste. I'm going to use this whole can. Let it sit on the top there, and of course you can, I've found with these gloves, I can more or less touch it for brief periods at least. Absolutely stinks, real gnarly oven cleaner kind of chemical stink. And we're going to fold it up. The little noxious parcel that it is. Gloves off. Very easily eats through things, so which is good because it means it's going to really eat through that coating. But the gloves are even then starting to fall apart a bit. So be careful, you know. Don't be a hero. And obviously I'm wearing glasses, so that's kind of a bit of ingrained eye protection, but really you should probably wear goggles as well. So I'm probably going to leave this here for about an hour and then come back and see how it's progressed.
Makeover, 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 makeover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makeover, 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 makeover. For you and me.
Just make sure you keep all the shit that you're throwing away. Like, I'll probably just throw this whole Tupperware container away with it, so it's all kind of in together as one little noxious bundle of grossness. You don't just want to contaminate all of your rubbish with it.
I hope he dies of ethylene glycol poisoning.
Makeover, 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 makeover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makeover, 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 makeover. For you and me.
Alright, so with all the nasty smells gone and only a very mild chemical burn on my wrist where the glove had ridden up. All in all, pretty successful stripping. You saw when I took off that bit of foil, it had just, the material had just blobbed off. Like, there was very little actual agitation needed to get much more of the coating off than it had naturally just fallen off. So that's the stuff to get the really thick blobby paint stripper. Looking at the skeletonized knife now, nothing on the spine, nothing even in the jimping. The steel wool got rid of that. The only stubborn part are the parts that have sort of been, I guess, maybe a little extra baked on by the force of chopping. So right along the blade here, like right with the edges, there's a little bit more that's kind of just become almost impacted into the surface. So that will come off eventually, and I could sand that off if I was too bothered, but I'm not. So overall, it's exactly where I want it to be. It's got a complete raw steel finish, which is what I was after. So we're going to get these new scales, the micarta ones, and we're going to place them on. We're going to have ourselves a very internet respectable Beka BK9. Just like, I feel like Chris Tanner in 2011. What a feeling.
Makeover, 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 makeover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makeover, 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 makeover. For you and me.
So there we go. Micarta handled, raw steel, 1095 Beka BK9. Gotta say, feels pretty darn cool.
Congratulations, you've increased the total input of maintenance hours to another of your seldom used tools. I hope the internet rewards you with sufficient clout. Enough clout to fill the gaping chasm that exists within you.